So another part that I'll probably talk about is spiritual things. Now, right off the bat, I've got some videos that I'm working on about, and I don't know if I'm going to put them here or I'll put them over on my book channel. If you go to Water Moccasin Press, you can see a lot of my old sermons, and you can see information about some of my books. I wrote a book called Hard Rain. I wrote a book called Jesus, Son of God. And so I've got several theological books that I've been working on and that I've written. And so they're kind of all over there on the Water Moccasin Press site, which is my publishing company. But I also have T.O.B. was a novel that I wrote with my friend Greg Kemp. And so it's kind of a psychological, political thriller sort of a thing. But anyway, so I've got that side is like kind of the public side. But then there are other things that aren't public, like, you know, prayer. You know, and then my time that I spend in my Bible study. And we'll probably talk about some of that. And so I have certain techniques that kind of connect with the analytical side of how I do Bible study. I have 8 points for an effective Bible study. And really, it's just common things that you would use in any book study for like college or whatever. But they link up with this analytical part of my brain. And the analytical part of my brain has, because it's been able to help with this Bible study part, has encouraged and developed my spiritual side of myself. So prayer and Bible study. Fasting is an interesting thing that we could write down here. I do want to lose weight, but fasting has long been a technique used in Christian worship. It's a form of worship of telling your body you're not in control. It's part of the 9 cardinal virtues, and one of them being self-control. So let's put those down. 9 cardinal virtues. I think I better move my mind map. Oh, I just lost my camera. Better move the mind map down so we can get all of these in the shot. But we've got 9 cardinal virtues, and we could list those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you could even do the 8 points of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever, you could go on with it. But those, now here's where this becomes interesting for me. Now I've got kind of more of my spiritual side developed. One other thing, I want to connect the spiritual to the physical. Prayer is one of those things that they say it lowers your blood pressure and helps you feel better. So you could always draw an arrow back here and put, you know, lowers blood pressure or whatever. But also, that's one of the things that I like about martial arts, and you'll see this not just, and this is where I get off the boat with some of my Christian friends that hate martial arts. Yes, I am not a Buddhist, and so the Buddhistic principles of Eastern martial arts I don't like. However, in the European tradition, there was a lot of martial arts that were connected with religious orders. So like the Knights Templar, even though they kind of got off base a little bit, they were a military order. There were other military orders. They're just the most famous. That's why I mention them. There were other military orders that were also monks, or they were like some of the branches of the Teutonic Knights were monks, but they were also military people. So sometimes your spiritual life can connect up with even the martial arts section. And you know, if you're watching this video and you're not a Christian, you're like, what on earth are you talking about? Just stay tuned. I'll probably do a video about it, which brings up the next point, and the final point that I want to talk about with this mind map. With this mind map, and now I'm seeing how things are kind of connecting and how the dots are sort of working together for my brain, I can look at this and I can say, okay, I want to make a video about that today. Okay, I want to make a video about that. Oh, I want to write an article about that, or I want to talk about that in my next book. Or, you know, maybe that's something that I'm going to say next time I do a seminar. I'm going to talk about this sort of a thing. And so these are techniques this is a technique that I use all the time to help me figure out what the next step is sometimes. And yes, prayer is a big part of that too. But I pray and I ask God for wisdom, because the Bible says if anybody lacks wisdom, they can go to God and He will give it to them. And so I ask Him for wisdom, but then I analyze my brain. And this is how I do it. And I use art, and I use color, and I use the analytical part, and physically I'm doing something here. So this is one really good way of kind of putting it all together. So I'm going to take a picture of this, I'm going to put it up, but that's it for today. And this video has been incredibly long. I'm probably going to chop it up into smaller sections of videos so that way you can see them. But thank you, welcome to my new channel, and stay tuned for more cool stuff. God bless you. We'll see you later.